We have three eminent speakers for the sessions: Piers Marlow, President at Epto, Jonathan Bradley, Commercial Director at Plus Bus, and Conrad I, Head of Integrated Transport at Atto. And please join me in welcoming them on stage.
Good afternoon. Perhaps we should start with what's EPTO. We want to do that first. I'm President of EPTO. We are a European passenger transport organisation. We represent the 8 largest private bus subsidiaries operating in the European market. And we were formed in 2006. I wanted to just say a few words of introduction about our view of what's going on in Europe and ticketing, so that we can perhaps then talk about some examples straight after. Most of our business is won by competitive means and by tenders, and therefore we are very used to the situation of passenger service, quality, customers, ticketing, and all those things that go with it. Most of all, we support the opening of the market for competition. But I think the theme of today is about liberalisation, regulation, all of those things. They have an application, but they do not have to be a means to an end. We can have a situation where you can get what the customer wants without having to overdo the technology, and without also having to overdo the necessary conditions that sometimes Brussels will want to put upon us to do these things. Most of our services are operated under contract, but some of them are also completely commercial, and therefore we have to make our own way in the world about how we fund that. We successfully operate in a number of competitive environments, and we've got well over 20 of the European countries that are represented in our organisation where we run. Passengers are clearly the focus of any service offer that we will make. And as far as we're concerned, easy to access ticket sales, fare systems, they are absolutely crucial to the success of our business. But I must say that those things need to be reasonable, practical, and also affordable. They need to bring economic benefits to customers. And we do spend a lot of our time looking at principles that have been adopted which actually do not help the majority of the customers. They only help a very small minority, and that money could be much wiser invested in other parts. So where there's a significant need and a market demand, we clearly say that through ticket sales, operators can develop and produce solutions. Any new solution aimed at enabling passengers to buy tickets from any place to another place in the EU, it's the sort of thing that we're now hearing. It's a great idea, it's a fantastic idea, but how much use would it be, and how much use would be made of it, and is it affordable? And our answer is generally no. The additional cost burdens are going to fall on the operators or the client bodies. Someone's got to fund that. Therefore, we're not trying to say that you should not have easy movement, that you should not have the freedom to be able to buy the tickets that you need, but everything has to be affordable. Many of the places that presently do this, or where the demand really lies, are already well covered by systems that cope with it. So in these instances, it's going to be essential to avoid creation of additional obligations from Europe, and we think that there's almost a hammer to crack a nut situation going on with some of the legislation and some of the demands that could come. We also believe that you can provide the right sort of ticketing, the right sort of passenger information without it having to be too prescriptive and without it having to be too restrictive either. I'll also say, I've heard it said many times when we've talked in places like Brussels, buses and trains are an absolute parallel to the airline industry, so you must be able to do absolutely everything on them that you can do on the airline industry. But the cost levels, the whole facilities element, the distances between the places are entirely different. And therefore we think, there has to be interchangeability between services, there has to be interchangeability sometimes between modes. But that's something that also has to be commercially viable and something that can be paid for by someone. There are examples of some quite simple and quite innovative ticketing that's already been done. So I think to sum up EPTO's position, we do not have a situation where we're saying that technology is a bad thing. Quite the opposite. Technology is a tremendous aid. There are many, many passenger information systems and ticketing systems that can really help and really help to improve something. But I think as someone said to me before we started today, you know, we don't want a situation where the technology comes first and then the application comes second. There has to be something sensible that technology can be hung upon. We hope to show, just by a couple of examples from my colleagues, where simple solutions have actually come up with quite an effective result and have improved life for passengers.
Good afternoon. As Piers has already said, the EU seems very determined to have multimodal passenger ticketing and information. But the way they seem to be going about it seems to rely very much on regulation. And as we know only too well in the UK, if you have regulation, you usually have high cost. You can significantly cut costs without necessarily cutting the service to passenger by removing some levels of regulation. We also believe it's quite important, if not very important, to make sure that any initiative allows a bit of entrepreneurial innovation. You know, if we had regulation 15 years ago saying you couldn't have a mobile phone if you had a street with a telephone box on it, then we clearly wouldn't have the mobile phone revolution that we've had in the last 20 years. So we do need to be very careful with exactly where our regulation takes us. As far as I can find out, and I'm sure somebody in the room might correct me, but I can only find 2 European countries that have a nationwide train and bus ticketing scheme at the moment. One of them is Britain, and the other one is Holland. I'm aware that Ireland are in the process of establishing something, and so are Denmark. But I just want to talk a little bit about what we've done in Britain over the last 15 years. Very simply, it's called PlusBus, and it's an example of multimodal and multi-operator ticketing provided by operators without the need for additional legislation, regulation, or central government finance. In 1999, the UK government made it very clear that they wanted integrated ticketing between national rail and bus across the whole of Britain. There already existed various multimodal and or multi-operator ticketing schemes, particularly in the larger cities, but nothing across the whole of the UK for the national rail network. So, in 1999, the 5 main bus and rail operators in Britain, whose names are up there, pulled together an informal partnership called Journey Solutions, along with the 2 trade associations, the CPT, which represents bus and coach operators, and ATOC, which represents train companies. Journey Solutions started by looking at what ticketing schemes existed, how they operated, and exactly what we could do between bus and rail across the whole of Britain. And I suppose the most important thing is there were various ticketing schemes around, but there was no consistency in terms of customer offer or how the tickets actually operated. Now, a lot of you will probably run for the exit doors as soon as I show you this slide. This is a picture of a PlusBus ticket. Yes, it's a credit card-sized paper ticket. There are 1.5 billion rail journeys made in Britain every year, and the vast majority of those passengers still use tickets like that. And I came to this conference 5 years ago, where the head of ATOC stood up and said we will still be using tickets like that in 5 years' time, and he was absolutely right. We still are, and in 5 years' time we probably still will be. Despite the fact that there are various electronic versions of ticketing schemes available, and even you don't need to buy tickets anymore, as you've probably heard from other speakers around the conference. The thing is, this is a rail ticket that's been around since the early 80s. All the technology to support it has been tried and tested over the years, and it works very, very well. So if something works well, why do you need to throw it out and start with something completely afresh at enormous cost to either your customers or the government? So what we decided was to take this ticket and make something different. What's our basic customer proposition? Well, obviously when Journey Solutions started, we had to actually define what that was. Basically, we wanted in the rail industry to sell a bus pass. that could be added to just about any kind of rail ticket, single day return period, or even season tickets for commuters. To make it simple and easy to communicate to customers and easy for them to understand, we said, well, it'll be unlimited travel around the whole urban area of your rail-served town. All buses and trams operating in that urban area will accept it. And you have to bear in mind that in Britain, where bus services are loosely regulated, I think is a polite way of putting it, you know, in some of our larger cities, we've got 30 or 40 bus operators providing services. There might be one or two that provide 80 or 90% of services, but there'll be another 20 or 30 that provide the other 10%. So we were offering door-to-door purchase for the whole journey. We also adopted a few rail standards. Customers got 33% off our ticket prices if they had a rail card, and children were always defined as under 16 years of age, and they always got 50% off, because across the country, different bus operators had different definitions of what children were and the discount they offered. This is a zone map, which basically shows the travel area for Southampton. The orange line is basically where the buildings end and the fields and trees begin. The blue dots are all bus stops, and this is overlaid on a Bing street map. And I think what we're trying to show here is that information is important and goes along with ticketing. Here we show the participating operators and a close-up of the zone map. And online or on your smartphone using our system, you can also look at departures from any particular bus stop for the next hour, for 2 or 3 days' time. You can also plan a journey. So we're not just offering ticketing, we're also offering information for the customer as well. So where are we now? Well, customers are available for 290 rail-served towns and cities across Britain. Over 200 individual bus and tram companies participate in the scheme. All 18 franchise rail operators retail the ticket, and so do all the open access operators, and a number of third-party rail ticket retailers sell it as well, the biggest being the trainline.com. Let's have a look at a typical customer. Most of our customers are standard class travellers. A third of them are aged under 25, about half are aged 25 to 45, and then the remainder are middle-aged. 70% of them are car owners, so these are people who have a car, but for some reason or other they've decided to travel by train and hopefully by bus to the station. 64% are travelling for leisure or shopping, about a fifth are commuting, and the remainder are for business. So we know quite a lot about our customers. We've recently done some research in partnership with Passenger Focus in the customer representation policy. And we found that 90% of our customers are satisfied or very satisfied with their Plus Plus ticket. We also found a high volume of repeat customers. So once we have a customer, they keep coming back time and time again. They like the convenience of it, they like the ease of purchase and the ease of use, and they like the fact it offers them good value for money. Where are train tickets bought? Despite all the offers and discussion, still nearly half of all train tickets are bought at ticket offices. About 20% are bought from vending machines and about 20% are bought online. Now obviously that varies depending on where the train company is, but that's a national picture. Now if I show you where Plus Plus tickets are bought, it's very different. Half of our tickets are actually bought online, about 40% are bought at ticket offices and only 10% are bought from vending machines. Why has online become so important to us? Primarily because when the customer's sitting at home with their laptop and they're buying their tickets, the system automatically offers them Plus Plus for their origin and their destination. So there is a lot of purchase of our tickets for people who are in effect buying it just to cover in case they need bus travel. But it's also hugely important because this is people who are making their decisions in a leisurely way, so people who aren't under pressure. Our research recently identified that 20% of our customers would like to buy tickets from vending machines, so we have a bit of an issue there. Where are we going with this product? Well, we would like all train company websites to retail season tickets as well as day tickets, because we know that we need to get more commuters. Vending machines. At the moment, we've only got 5 train operating companies selling our product through their vending machines. That is something that we need to action. We've also fulfilled our product on smart cards in the Brighton and Crawley areas in partnership with Southern. But obviously we can't do more of that until train companies have all their ticketing equipment smart card enabled as well. And all the bus operators, all 200 of them across Britain, also have all the equipment on the buses to read the smart cards. So this is going to take quite some time to get all the systems brought together. People often ask me, how have you done this? I often answer by saying, well, how have we not done it? Well, the government hasn't introduced any new legislation. There's no regulation imposed on operators to do it. And from the government's point of view, they've got all this for nothing because the operators have actually paid for it themselves. Which is not a bad proposition to be in if you're a government in current sort of spending conditions. And what we would like to say is that too much regulation can actually strangle innovation. So how did we do it? Well, the government made its aspiration known, and we as a partnership of operators actually responded to that aspiration. We set up all the standards and agreements, as I mentioned earlier. We've funded it, and we've used existing ticketing technology. And that is absolutely critical, because at the end of the day, the customer doesn't want to spend a penny more for having a ticket on their mobile phone or on a card behind their ear. They just want to go from A to B. It's really the operator or somebody who is funding the operator that has to put in technology. By using existing technology, we have done nationwide train to bus ticketing at virtually no cost. Having said that, as new technology comes along, like online retailing, like smart card fulfillment, we will put bus onto this technology, but there has to be a customer benefit and a customer expectation to do that. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Conrad Haig. I'm the head of integrated transport at ATOC. Jonathan's asked me to do a couple of things, which is one, explain who ATOC are, and two, explain how the ticketing system works, both of which would take more time than we have by significant margins. I did laugh a little bit when Jonathan sent me the presentation title, which he assures me he didn't think of, an integrated ticketing system without tiers. If any of you achieved that, do ring us, do let us know how it went, because I don't think anything is easy, but I think what he was trying to refer to is the fact that we haven't employed lots and lots of new things to make it happen. So, who are ATOC? Well, that's our vision, and basically we are set up by train companies, post-privatisation, to do the things that regional companies couldn't do. Probably the best sort of way of expressing what ATOC is something that someone said to me, which was, we're a trade body plus. And the plus is because we're a very active trade body, we do all the things you'd expect a trade body to do, all the things that CPT do, but we also have an active role in the industry in terms of delivering a lot of services. So some of them are up there. So for instance, rail staff travel, we deal with all the concession fares for staff members within the rail industry. We run the rail card systems that Jonathan's already alluded to. And we have a major role to play in national operations such as engineering and major projects. However, a really interesting point from a plus point of view, an integrated ticketing point of view, is the rail settlement plan. Because we run the national ticketing system and the settlement system, which is quite significant. That's how many rail journeys we have a year. It's a lot, and we're growing. We're living in a growing market. 5% increase over the last 6 years. It's a significant amount, and it's a very busy and complex system. To give you some sort of idea of scale and the sort of things that Jonathan was talking about, he talks a lot about statistics. This is plus sales for the last few years. We're around 1 million. And in terms of rail ticketing, that's not massively significant, but it is really important because the rail industry are working in partnership with the bus industry to deliver this, not just because it's an integrated ticket, but because it helps our customers get to our services. And if these people don't come, by bus, they may be bringing a car, and we can't accommodate everybody driving to the station. That's not how the rail industry works. And so it's important to be able to provide, one, a service that allows more customers to come and for us to continue that 5% growth, and also, two, to increase customer satisfaction so that they feel that they are enjoying or at least getting the value from their services. Jonathan also mentioned a little bit about the profile of people who are using these tickets. We do know a few more things. And one of the things we know is that 89% of the tickets are day tickets and 11% of them are season tickets. We know this because we also run something called Lennon, and if anybody's in the UK rail industry, they will know what Lennon is. It's a very complex system that looks at how every ticket that's sold. Lots of examples appear of integrated ticketing, but as experts in the room, you will all realise that none of these really are providing the integrated ticket, the service. What they're actually providing is a way of facilitating the service, providing the service. They're platforms by which we provide the services. And even the Plus Bus ticket, we say, well, surely that's a ticket. Well, actually, it's a ticket in the bus industry, but within the rail industry, it's not. It's actually an add-on. And actually, that's an important way we've got around some of the sort of systems that exist and some of the things we've had to fulfill, because as an add-on, it has a different status within rail. This is the RSP system. It's extremely complicated, it's highly complex, and it's incredibly robust. These will be available, so you don't have to take pictures of it. However, I'm not going to go through it in great detail. The inputs at the top, and it's all the things you'd expect: the timetable, the fares, the reservation system, and the ticket issuing systems, which are complex in terms of we've got web, we've got vending machine, we've got on train, we've got it in station. But the important bit is the bit at the bottom, the Lennon and ORCATs, and the automatic settlement services. These have made it possible for us to provide a nationwide basis for this ticket. And what they allow us to do is actually deliver a ticket and settle the ticket across not just the rail industry, but across the bus industry. I have a slightly more simplified version. Now, when we first launched Plus Bus, Jonathan is longer in the tooth in this project than I, it was a through ticket, and it would have worked exactly like this. These are fictional numbers, I should point out. We don't charge £100 for the average Plus Bus ticket. But it would become part of the rail journey. So say you came from London to Leeds with a Plus Bus ticket, and say the price was £100, the retailer would get their commission, and then the bus operator and the train operators, for which the journey you took, because one of the advantages of ATOC is that the settlement system allows one ticket to be distributed across the network, across the different train operating companies that might be fulfilling that journey. And the same applies to the bus operators. So this complex settlement system has allowed us to deliver a nationwide ticket and settlement process. And that really is the key to how we do it, without getting too much complication. The RSP service distributes monies to all the parties delivering the service. Now, I mentioned that actually Plus Bus in the rail industry is not a ticket, it's an add-on. And that does mean the settlement slightly differently, in the fact that the customer buys the ticket and the retailer takes their commission. And that's the rest of the funding then goes to the bus operator, the train operator, where the retailer might be the train operating company, it might be somebody at the station selling the service, it might be via a vending machine, but it could also be a third party, because we have a lot of third party retailers within the industry. So a third party retailer like Trainline or many others may be getting that commission. The settlement is then goes straight through the bus company. And in reality, it's a simplistic system, but what all we've done is taken a traditional methodology of delivering a service and adapted it for both bus and train. And I think I'm echoing what my fellow speakers were saying we haven't reinvented the wheel, we haven't waited for technology to solve our problem. What we've done is take an existing system and adapt it to make it a deliverable service. And that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you to all the three speakers. pick up on that point about there has to be a customer benefit. And this echoes something that cropped up in the session yesterday, and something that Jenny Borg said this morning about in some parts of the country people are waiting in the rain and watch a bus go past because they can't use their ticket on that bus, they have to wait for a different flavour bus. So almost that's the kind of context where there has to be an operator benefit rather than there has to be a customer benefit. So I have to take that has to be a customer benefit with a bit of a pinch of salt.
Is that a question directed at anybody, or is it a question?
I suppose it's directed at the person that said it. I mean, it's self-evident in this example. There is a customer benefit. There is a lack of queuing. Why do you have to say that? But in saying it, you raise the thing that's lurking in the background, which any of us may be thinking is there has to be an operator benefit.
Probably one for us. I mean, the benefit to the train operators is to facilitate access to station and also to facilitate a customer satisfaction. I mean, we do get fees, but they aren't in rail terms particularly large, and it's not a vast amount of profit. If I was to take this to the commercial board, I think I'd struggle to make a commercial case for it in terms of the level of investment we've put into it over the years. It certainly hasn't cost us money, but it isn't a profit-making process on a scale that will be significant. And I think that might be slightly different from bus companies, but I think certainly as an ethos, we're together on this. I think.
Yes, I mean, I think the critical thing about this is if there was an economic benefit to operators in doing this, then there would be a lot more examples of this around the world, in Europe, in Britain. The sad truth is that integrated ticketing is far more important to politicians than it often is to customers. If you open your wallet, how many of us have got multiple credit cards and debit cards and multiple supermarket loyalty cards? We don't have a problem with having multiple tickets or cards in our wallet. The benefit is very much in the operator's eye to prove, really.
How do you reconcile that with the bus situation? It's not the same as the credit card. In the bus situation, some people could think back to the days when there just used to be standard buses. But now, the buses from different companies. I can't get that one. I bought my ticket, I can't get that one. I've got to wait 15 minutes for the next one.
Well, I've worked in buses most of my life, and if the journey is very important to you, if you've got a ticket for bus A and bus B comes along, then you'll be prepared to pay for bus B if that journey is very important to you.
Well, in addition to the one you've already bought?
Yeah, why not?
I'll rest the case.
Well, you may well find that an unusual thing, but that, it depends how important that journey is to you.
Just make one more comment. I think that there are examples around the place of places where you can get a bus A or bus B, and it does work. But there are also examples, as you quoted there, where you can only buy a ticket for A and get on A. There are also examples where some regulatory body is determined that if two operators are exchanging tickets, they must be doing something which is also not compliant with competition. Yeah? So, there are also areas where you would say regulation of that kind or investigation of that kind can actually stifle exactly the thing that you want to see. Maybe the operators might want to see that as well.
I think it's probably worth pointing out that Plus doesn't work like that. So, there are some operators that don't participate, but the majority of the operators in the region will participate in that ticket. You can't, especially what you're saying is you can force people, but I think you'll find that operationally, if you force something on people, they don't go willingly. You have to take them with you. So, the majority of regions where Plus operates have got multiple operators out on most of the sites. Jonathan will tell you chapter and verse about how many Plus
a lot.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. With this, I would invite anybody who has any additional questions for the three speakers to reach them out during the coffee break. Thanks a lot.